Hello, and welcome to the Quick Start Guide to making your own VRChat Dalek avatar, created for and by Destination Skaro and its community. The tutorial will guide you through how to set up your Dalek model to be VRChat ready, importing it into Unity and making it into a VRChat avatar. Please do know that all these assets and systems provided by Destination Skaro do have a TOS for usage. Please make sure to read and follow these terms when creating. Thank you. Now then, let's begin. For those who are inexperienced with Dalek modeling and wish to just modify a pre-existing Dalek, all Destination Skaro Daleks have their blend files public, allowing you to use them. However, for those who have created their own Dalek and or extensively modified a Dalek model, these steps will become necessary. Step 1. The first step is to divide your Dalek into two mesh groups. Group 1 being the gun and plunger, and Group 2 being the rest of the Dalek. The reason this is done is so that when you're in VRChat, you can see through your Dalek while still be able to see the gun and plunger. However, if you want your view to just be above the Dalek, you can skip this step. Step 2. You will need to create two armatures, one humanoid and the other is your Dalek rig. For the Dalek rig, make sure you have your eye stalk parented to the dome and your gun stick and plunger parented to your arms. Have the dome and neck and arms parented to the midsection. And finally, have the midsection parented to the skirt. It's recommended to have the rig set up the way it's displayed here to prevent any further issues when using the 2.0 prefab. Step 3. Name your Dalek bones. We recommend naming them the following: skirt main, bip base, bip neck section, bip middle section, bip eye stalk end, bip gun end, bip gun manipulator 01, bip manipulator arm 02, bip manipulator arm 03, and finally bip manipulator arm 03 end. Although it's not required as long as you know what your equivalents to these bones are. Step 4. Creating vertex groups. You want to go to the Data tab, and once there, you'll find the Vertex Group section. You'll want to press the plus sign to create a vertex group. Keep in mind, for them to work, you'll need the vertex group's name to be the same as the bone. Once created a name, go into edit mode and select the piece that you want to assign to a bone. Then, click Assign. Do make sure that the weight is set to 1. Repeat these steps until everything has been assigned to their respective vertex groups. As well as that, make sure that your Dalek has an armature modifier with the object selected as the Dalek rig. Finally, you'll want to go to File, Export, FBX, and then specify armature and mesh. We also recommend removing any leaf bones, like so. Congratulations! The Blender side of your Dalek has been completed. We can now move on to the Unity section. Hello, welcome to the Unity section. Congratulations, you've completed the Blender side. Now, we will begin the Unity side of the project. So, we highly recommend opening up your Creator Companion and creating a new project. Then, you will select Unity 2022 Avatar Project and name your project whatever you want. Most likely your Dalek's name or whatever. For me, we'll just name it Tempe Dalek. So we're going to create project, and it's going to set up the Unity files. So it sets this all up, manage your packages, and then we hit open project. Now it will open up Unity. This may take a while depending on your computer. Okay, now that Unity is open, the very first step you'll probably want to do is bring in your Dalek model. So you'll drag it into Unity within your assets folder. For demonstrations purposes, I created this model. Their name is Tempe the Dalek. What I will be doing to Tempe the Dalek in this video, you will basically be doing to your Dalek. The first steps with Tempe here is we would click on it and then go to Rig and change generic to humanoid. After that, hit apply. Next, we will go to config, and then after that, we click on head right here, and we'll make sure everything here is in line. neck is neck, head is head, and right eye should have none. So in body, we're going to need to change some of this stuff. So we're going to want to change spine 02 to spine 03, and we're going to want to change spine 04 to spine 05. Then we're going to hit apply, and done. Next, we will bring in the 2.0 template. So we'll bring in the Unity prefab, and we'll put it in our assets folder. Then, once done, we'll hit import. Alright, now that we have the template in here, we'll open up the Destination Skaro folder, and we'll bring in our template. Make sure you can right click and use WASD to move around in your environment. I recommend having the Dalek template provided from us be in a position of 0, 0, 0 on X, Y, and Z. Don't mind the scale. The scale is how it is in VRChat. We can use it as a reference point. So we're going to bring in our Dalek avatar, our model. And as you can see, it's bigger. Your model could either be bigger, smaller, or maybe about the same size as this. What you could do, though, of course, is you can change its scale by just clicking on the Dalek in the hierarchy and picking this, and there's other ways to do it too, but for the sake of today's video, I'm just gonna do it this way. Just kind of eyeball it. Positions 0, 0, 0. That's good enough. It lines up very similar to how we have the Quest Dalek, the 2.0. So what we're gonna do now is the following. We're going to open up the hierarchies of both of these. We're gonna find the humanoid section, and we're gonna be copying components off of it and pasting it onto ours. So let's start with pelvis. Pelvis has a VRChat Fizzbone Collider. Right click and copy the component. And then we're gonna find our pelvis, and we're going to do the same here. Next, take us to our left hand. Oops, sorry, that's my Dalek. We're gonna right click and copy the component in here and paste and component as new. Copy component. Paste. Final step is copying the head. With the humanoid part done, the next step is this. We will now be doing stuff for the Dalek rig. So we're going to go into the Dalek rig, we're going to click on skirt main, and we're going to copy this Fizzbone script, and we're going to paste it onto our equivalent and or just the same name. As well as that, also make sure our ignore transfers is clicked on so we can see this. As well as that, collision allow colliders. So now, what we're going to do is, we're going to change this bit base to either your equivalent to a bit base, or like if it has the same name, just pick the one that isn't already selected, or if it has a different name, pick that one, your equivalent. And applies here with the human rig too, rather than bib skirt. Okay. Now we change bit midsection, the dome. To our head, to our head. Primary fire will stay the same because we're going to lift the primary fire off of the template and put it on our Dalek. Then we choose our left hand. Then right hand. We got to make sure to copy the avatar descriptor off. You don't have to do this per se, but it's just easier to do it. Congratulations! All the parts involving doing the Dalek avatar part itself is done. The next step is the animations for this. So we can mostly ignore the template. And we're going to find the animations. And we're going to first start with the hiding avatar animations. We'll have these, the hiding animations. Click on animation, temp. We're going to create a new animation. Then we're going to pick default from our avatar hiding animations that we found within our assets project folder. And then we're going to pick save. And we're going to say yes, because what we're going to do is we're going to overwrite them. So what we're going to do here for our default one, this is our body. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the record button. And we're going to check mark and recheck that. And for the guns and arms, we're going to do that too. And then we're going to hit the red recording button again and hit preview. Because if you keep preview on, it will break your avatar. So always make sure to turn it off after doing an animation. Now, create new clip. We're going to do hide avatar. And all you need to do here is just record, uncheck your main Dalek mesh, hit the record again, preview, and then one more for show avatar. So we're going to overwrite that, record, check mark recheck, hit record and preview. Okay, so that's all those major animations done. Now, you'll be able to see through your Dalek when you're in VRChat. But we're not done. We still got more animations to do. So, next step. We're going to find our plunger. Bring the plunger in. We're going to drag it onto our template. So we're going to drag it on when we go into the animation section. And we click on our Dalek. There's plunger in. Or actually, we're going to keep it in its current state, since this is plunger in. Just record it as is. So, slightly adjusted to record it. You could do other methods to do that. Hit record, preview. Okay. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to drag in the plunger out onto our Dalek. We're going to go into the animations. We're going to go to plunger out. And then we're going to remove these. We're going to hit record again. We're going to pull this all the way out. The plunger is extending after all. We're going to max that out. Like so. Then hit the record, preview. There we go. So you're basically going to have your animations for your scripts in the setups like this. Your bip gun's going to be unchecked, your arm's going to be unchecked, and your arms is going to be checked. And then in VR, it's going to be arms are unchecked, but the gun and manipulator arm will be checked. The next batch of animations we will have to go over is rotation methods. So, as stated before, drag it into your Dalek. So animation-wise for rotation method 1, you're going to have to make sure that your skirt's going to be unchecked, your bit base will be, and your midsection will be checked marked. Rotation method number 2, skirt main will be checked, bit base won't be, and bit midsection will be checked. 3 will be just bit base would be checked. Now finally, weapons. So you will go to your Dalek rig, and you will go to your middle section, and then arms, and then bip gun, you will find primary fire. This will be put onto your bip gun. So in order to lift it off, you want to right click the template, you want to go to prefab, and then unpack completely. And now, we should be able to take the primary fire and put it on our bip gun. There we go, like so. All we would need to do now is just move it into position, like so. Okay, that's good enough for me. So we can also check the particles itself by check marking this, and we can play, and there you go. Look at that. So now, for the firing, animation-wise, we're gonna have to fire, and what you'll want to have is your ghost particle on, your pew sound off for your initial recording, and then you'll want to, for the second frame, have ghost particle on and pew sound on. for your animation. On initial state, you're going to want Pew Fire off and both the Ghost Particle and the Pew Sound off. And then on no fire, you're going to want Ghost Particle off and Pew Sound on. However, also keep in mind, we will need to create a material. So we would right click in the assets folder, just anywhere in it, then right click, create, and then find your material and name it Dalek or whatever you want. Put it on your Dalek. And if your Dalek does have textures such as a base, a normal map, metallic, you'll also want to bring them into your Unity project and then drag them into their respective areas. We should be able to now go into our VRChat control panel, and then we'll need to log in. So give me a second as I log in. Okay, now that we're done here, we can go into the builder section. And oops, haha, my mistake. Let's get you. We no longer need this, right? So we can just delete that out of our hierarchy at the moment. And we can auto fix some of these problems. Now, we can hit build and test. Oh, right, I forgot to save. Make sure when working on this, you want to save it. So we're going to save our scene as Tempe the Dalek. Okay. So, in order to find your avatar that you've just built and test, you're going to go to your avatar section, and then you're going to go to other, and then we're going to scroll through here until we find our Dalek. And mine should be right here, Tempe. So we'll change into it. And what do you know? Tempe is fully operational. And let's check. Plunger extends. It has the firing. Although it does seem to be a little broken. Okay, so let's fix some of the issues that we saw when doing this Dalek. So to fix some of those firing issues, we're going to go into our primary fire, and let's start with Pew. Pew seems to be where most of the problem is. So we're going to scroll down until we find render, and then we're going to change it from that to our spark trail right here. If you have any other problems with the effects, just go over all these parts and make sure that they look like they're correct, their correct effect. You can go into your VRChat control panel and rebuild and test. So a good way to be able to automate creating skins for your Daleks is the following. You'll want to download the VRChat expression utility package, and then you just bring it into your scene, right? You bring it into your assets. And then you'll want to import. So, after you imported your expression utility, I highly recommend creating a new folder for your Dalek skins, and or just repurposing the one we provided and creating your Dalek materials there. They could either just be as simple as just a color change, or actually modifying the base color to do a different thing, or normal map, etc., it doesn't matter. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the expression utilities and open it. We're going to create an expression. We're going to name it whatever. I'm going to just name it Dalek Skins LOL. And then we're going to select material slider. And then we can select our target render to be our Dalek body, which in this case is referred to as cube. And then we're going to create a few of these. And then we're going to make this material Dalek 1, Dalek 2, and Dalek 3. Now, we can build the expression. If you don't want skins on your Dalek and remove that skin option, all you really need to do is go to Dalek menu here, and then click on it here, and then find the Dalek skins section right here, and then you can outright delete it. So that way it doesn't show up as an option. And once all satisfied, all well said and done, you can finally publish your Dalek. And in order to do that, you're going to need to give it a name, such as so, a description, made by me, and you'll need to give it a thumbnail, and then once you do all of those steps, you can then publish your Dalek. But now, that's just doing the PC side. How do you do the Quest Dalek then? How do you make it Quest friendly? Well, this is what you'll need to do. You'll want to select your platform and make it Android. If you don't have that, there are several ways to give your version of Unity that has the Android option to be able to build for Android. We won't be going over that here in the moment, though. Okay, once we selected our platform to be Android, we're going to get some issues. Some of them can be just auto-fixed. But the main ones in particular are going to be, to fix it and to make it all Quest-friendly, we're going to want to select our Dalek material, the one that we have the Dalek as. And we're going to want to click on the shader area and change it from standard to VRChat, mobile, and standard light. And change Pew. We could actually just straight up copy Pew from our Quest Dalek from here. Delete this. And then change our Pew here by move component. And then paste the component as new. That should do it, I think. Now, your Dalek is Quest-friendly. You can now build it on Quest. You can't build and test on Android, though, so you'll just have to do it a full-on publish. As well as that, one thing you'll want to do is, when you do build your Dalek, right, you're going to want to make sure to copy the blueprint from your PC version and paste it on your Quest one in case it's a separate save, or if they're out of sync. But generally, we should be done now. So congratulations! Within the span of maybe an hour, we have now officially made your very own Dalek. Take pride in what you've made. Make sure to exterminate. Just have fun.